Mind, body, and spirit. Your mind, body, and spirit must be protected at all times. Hunter, do you think you protect your mind, body, and spirit?
I try to.
And that's a very good point. That's actually a really, really good answer. Because I think, first off, I think most people actually are not trying to, but all you can do is try. And I believe that in today's world, and for myself, that you just have to be on constant guard, especially protecting your mind and spirit. So, for example, what is the content that you're consuming? And are you watching porn all the time? And are you doom scrolling on TikTok? And not only that, but also I had a weird thing recently where I was like, bro, why do I always have a podcast on? Why am I always just listening to something? So I've like scaled that back even to just like listening to music or being in silence more. I think those two things are actually a lot better than even just having just the constant input of conversation. Because you and I are both, all right, we're both 34. And so we are one of the most unique generations of all time in the sense that we still grew up as kids with virtually no internet. I got a fucking house I got a computer with some internet around like 9 or something. And even then it was just like, you're going on Nickelodeon.com and it takes forever to log on to it. And, you downloaded a song and burnt a CD for someone. But before that, it was just mud running around the streets. And even after that, into my teens, yes, we technically did end up getting MySpace or whatever. But still, it was just riding bikes around with people and just doing things all the time. Your mom would fucking force you to come to the store with her. And you guys are just standing there with no ability to like fucking, let me just fucking stare at the iPad or whatever. You just had to sit there and think all the time or be in your thoughts. Or oftentimes you probably didn't even have thoughts. You actually just were experiencing presence. And so I think that like if you are not extremely careful, then you're just going to find yourself warping your mind over and over and over again all fucking day.
I agree.
And it's brutal. And the one thing I wanted to bring up too is like, also, are you consuming, toxic people? Are you letting people even just kind of like in your ear all the time? They just have nothing really good to say. It's always complaints. It's always negative. It's always woe is me. Is this because I would almost venture to say, and I think it's true. You just end up becoming what you consume in today's world. And so when you are just very passively laying there and consuming, you don't realize that you are actually rewiring the very fabrics of your DNA into becoming something else, into becoming an angrier person, a more pessimistic person, right? You have this a lot with a lot of like red pill content and stuff where, women are this, women are that, or whatever. You've got the whole sort of like, the whole passport bro thing where it's like, women in America, they're all fucking busted. You have to leave the country and whatever. And my thing with that is that I actually think that it is going to be easier to go get laid and probably find a really good woman. It'll probably be easier actually in another country. But don't fucking stand here with me at a bar in Austin, Texas when I'm trying to like get laid tonight or meet a hot chick and rant to me about how American women are busted and you belong in Brazil or something. Get the ticket. Show me the ticket and talk to me about it another time. But not when this is like our objective right now, right? Or like a guy who will like be in the field or something, like complaining about his looks or like these things. There's validity to some things, right? But like, I'm not gonna have it in my fucking ear, and I'm not gonna have it where it's infecting my thoughts because what is fucking what is that called? The where you listen to something overnight or something like hypnosis, kind of.
Right, the sleep like repeat like the looping while you're sleeping, right? Some sort of
right, yeah,
sleep
like
disc recording.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. Yeah, like a sleep hypnosis. That's what they are, like sleep hypnosis, right? 10 hours of I am confident, I am brave, I am confident, I am brave, whatever. Well, you're living in awake hypnosis as well. Awake hypnosis is also a real thing where you're just being hypnotized all day by everything. And so in this world where content is just so readily available constantly, it's like, well, what are you hypnotizing yourself with? Because that's what you're doing, right? So you have to hypnotize yourself with positive shit. Or, like I said, even just getting back your own independent thought. I've always been huge on the phoneless walks, right? Like going on a walk without the phone, clearing the mind, clearing the brain, seeing what's kind of popping up for your own mind, and then going from there and trying to just have independent thought again. And so I think that when I talk to a lot of young guys where they do just have like fucking mental issues basically, and then you talk to them and it's like, yeah, they're watching a bunch of porn, they're listening to Tucker Carlson all day, they're listening to Alex Jones, all this stuff, which that's all like entertaining. Even if you just listen to like Tate all day. I love Tate, right? Even if you listen to me all day, it doesn't matter. It's like, stop listening to stuff all fucking day because you are hypnotizing yourself. And I think there's a time and a place for it, but you've got to be on constant guard.
I had the fortunate luxury of having no internet for long periods of time when I was in like middle school and high school, and because we couldn't afford it, we were broke, and because of that, I ended up like watching everyone else get more hyped up on all the comparison and the getting out of alignment of who they were, while myself, I stayed grounded for a long time. So I was on the other end too, where I didn't have the internet to even like do that. And then I saw, I wanted the internet, but I didn't have it. So it was, there were periods where I was even more grounded. But it grounds you. It grounds you to not be so in that like fake world all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe it's a real world, right? Maybe it's not even like a fake world. Maybe it is like the world. But we are just so I've just found myself so many times just so overstimulated by everything that is not in your environment. Just think about when you were I mean, again, yeah, even during our lifetime, but even long before that, all of the stimulation you experienced just came from. This is interesting, actually. The only thing that stimulated you was what you could see with your own human eyes.
Yeah.
That was it, always and forever. The room I'm in is my world. The bar that I'm at is my world. This is my world. Everything I can see with my own eyes. And now your fucking world is Dubai, the hot chick getting fucked, the Miami. Oh, look at all these people on the yachts. That's the world right now. But I'm sitting here in my world. My world sucks compared to the yachts. It's fucking poison, dude. And it's driving me insane.
Man.
Like for myself and for others. It's really, really bad. And I do think people have talked about this. There's going to be like government fucking programs or something to, I don't even know, dude. Like not shut down social media. There might be like screen time limitations instituted by the government one day. It's really possible.
I think the key word too is momentum. Like when you don't have any other distractions, you're creating a momentum with just your own thoughts. Versus when you have so many distractions, it's like boom, 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 distraction, distraction, distraction. There's no room for you to get anything started for yourself. You are essentially getting other people's things started. You're viewing other people's content. You are like looking at other people's stuff. You're not actually getting your own thing started is what's happening. It's a lack of momentum.
You're adding to other people's momentum, other people's views. You're their subscriber. You're their consumer. You're helping their momentum and completely destroying all of your own.
Yep.
Wow, that's huge. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just like I just view this as such a huge issue. And I mean, I don't know if I really want to sit here and get into all of the solutions. I mean, you've got apps that will kind of keep you from. There's an Opal app that you can actually block for your screen time for certain periods of time. But overall, I think it's the phone ain't going anywhere. The internet's not actually going anywhere. The government's probably not really going to institute these limitations. So you have to take it onto yourself and be like, do I want to be a lazy consumer or do I want to be an active, conscious creator? And start trying to actively and consciously create your own life. And I think you do that through the physical world. I think you can do that through, going to the gym, going on runs, going out talking to women out in the real world, going to a restaurant. Even if you were just going to eat, order DoorDash instead, like, yeah, I don't know, go to a restaurant, eat alone. It's fine. And just consciously creating again within your own world that your eyes can see. And I cannot imagine that not improving your mental health drastically, making you feel more grounded, making you feel more just conscious and alive.
Yeah, I literally used to go out to a field all the time to just think for myself because it felt like I needed space to have my own thoughts. I would go out and just go on these long walks, and something about getting away from all the noise of everything else helped me to get back in touch with my own momentum. And I do think that is how society works, where it's like you do need to decide whether or not you want to feed other people's stuff, or if you have something of yourself where it feels missing and you want to feed your own thing, you have to get very deliberate about feeding your own thing, which means putting on the horse blinders and cutting off all distractions. And like, even though it doesn't necessarily look like it's a big deal that you would just like, have, I don't know, Instagrams or YouTubes or people that you follow that are in alignment with what you believe, at the end of the day, that is someone else's momentum.
And even that, even when you are, because that's actually some of the easiest stuff to get addicted to. Like, even times where I felt like, oh, I'm doing the right thing. Again, yeah, maybe listening to too much Tate, too much Abraham Hicks, too much like positive, Goggins, whatever it is. It still just is the noise and the voice of others. And I think that when you are, it's like when you're turning off silence, you're turning off God. It's like God speaks to you in the silence. And so when you live in a world where there is no silence, I remember it made me so mad. I remember when they started putting fucking advertisements, TVs at like Speedway.
I hate that too.
I remember the first time I got out to pump gas, and there's a thing that you can't turn off, and it's like, this holiday season, and I'm like, what? This was like the one, even here, I can't get any fucking silence.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
They fucking just shove it in your faces. Yeah.
Bring earplugs to the gas station.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But I just wanted to make this video because I know a lot of people struggle with it, and I just wanted to kind of, I guess, give the message that, yeah, this is something that I think for a lot of you, if you're struggling with focus, you're struggling with like mental health issues of any kind, it's like just try putting yourself back into the silence. And again, if there is too many voices, music or silence, just aim for that. Listen to some good emo music, listen to some good stuff, and just chill, just relax.
Also maybe even do a thing where you ask yourself, like, what is it I'm trying to build anyway? Because you're so caught up in the roller coaster of whatever else is going on that like we're never really just giving ourselves space, time, an hour, a walk, a nature walk, something to be like, well, what do I want? So I think like even just doing an audit and asking like, what is it that you're looking for, and how big do you want to go, and what are you trying to do, because I think men that follow us, like, they want to do bigger, they want to build something, they want to be greater, and so in order to do that, you got to unplug a little bit. At least.
Yeah, I think you got to unplug a lot, truly. Find yourself again instead of just constantly clicking and finding others.